Hello, this is Rebecca Skillen, and I am doing a little bit of director prep and tutor encouragement for week 1, cycle 2, week 1, CC cycle 2, week 1. Anyways, a couple things. We are going to be doing family presentations starting this week. My goal, it may be overachieving, is to do 2 families per week so that we can get through all of our families within the first semester. There are a couple, there's a time when the challenge group is going to come down and talk to us a little bit, and there's a couple other things in this first semester, but my goal is that we have 2 families per morning for the first semester. I do plan on opening us up with a little bit of devotion, and also we're going to review Genesis 1 through 27 in the mornings during General Assembly. A few other things I want you to see banned for upcoming fellowship opportunities, but also for essentials are boudoir potlucks that are really important that we all attend to. If you are unable to come to our boudoir potlucks and watch the videos together as a community, you're really going to need to get in touch with either me to come over and watch them through my access of streaming, or to get in touch with Lindsay to borrow the DVDs. It really is going to set you up for a successful experience when we're doing our IEW writings. Picture Day is coming up September 13th and October 4th, and we will have, you'll see this afterwards, but we're going to be having Mom's Night Out on after Community Day in the evening. Family presentations for this week, just look on your schedule, and those who are scheduled for the coming week, I will make those announcements in our General Assembly. We'll end with prayer, and then we will have dismissal. In that as well, we will go over our expectations in General Assembly. They are expectations: God loves me, and in him I'm a new creation. I am kind and I am an encourager. Bum, 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 bum. My mouth speaks kind words, my heart obeys and does what is right. My mind is smart and I love to learn. I will do my best. Okay. All right, so then they will be dismissed to class, and here's where my tutor encouragement comes in. I did not take over tutoring for my son's class until week 6. I don't think I tutored until week 4, or substitute until week 4, and it ended up that we needed to have a long-term sub and subsequent full-time tutor as of week 6. When it was our first year of doing CC, and so I hardly have any notes from these first few weeks of cycle 2 because I was still dazed. I had never seen a community day until week 1 of cycle 2 4 years ago, and then ended up jumping in doing full-time tutoring as of week 6. So there's lots of notes after week 6. But anyways, I'm really, really thankful for the Foundation's tutor helps. So I highly encourage you printing these off or making notes if you don't want to print them off and waste paper, whatever you want to do. But I really encourage you looking through these. I have a lot of YouTube CC tutors and moms that I go to and get ideas from when I was tutoring. Stephanie Laughlin is amazing. I really relied on her a lot the first year that I tutored. I rely on her a lot for fine arts, come tin whistle and orchestra, every year that I tutored. But so anyways, multiplication tables, 3s and 4s. We did 1s and 2s last week. We're doing 3s and 4s this week. Your ABCers and apprentices, you are able to skip count the whole time. You should have the facts listed. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is not 6. Wow, I know 2 times 3 is 6, but 3 times 2 is 6 as well. It's the commutative law. 3 times 3 is 9, all the way through there. But you can just skip count. My journeyman, I really encourage that you do both. Skip count and do full multiplication facts, because you have some 9-year-olds in there that are going to be 10, and if they are proofing, they need to practice the math facts. Now, granted, they should be practicing the math facts and proofing those math facts at home with their parent, but modeling what does it look like for skip counting. That's easy. Skip count in the car while you're playing the CD, but what does it look like when you're modeling multiplication facts? So practice that as well. Masters, you're doing the full, if you want to throw in a couple skip counts just to get 7 times in, great. But for the majority, you're going to want to do the math facts as best you can. But again, 7 times is the goal. It may not always happen, especially when we're doing these two numbers of math facts at a time. But again, that is our goal. That is our standard. It does not mean that you are not going to get a gold star if you don't get all 7 in for every single subject. I understand. But again, that's our goal. We don't want to be just hitting 2 times a week. Make sure to do your best to hit 7 times in each subject. I think I've hit on that enough. So you could do, like I said, I loved my agility ladder. I have that at community every week. So if that's something that you want to borrow, we can, if one class wants to borrow it one week, another class wants to borrow it the other week, you want to buy your own, great. But if you want to borrow mine, you're more than welcome to. Whatever works for the personality of your class to get these math facts in. Again, Foundations Curriculum Weekly Helps has some great ideas for you for older and younger kids. This is when I did a lot of like aerobic type things, or calisthenic, gross motor, moving, crossing the body, maybe some staying alive while you're doing math facts, whatever works. Latin is a repeat of last week. Yay, you don't have to learn anything new. If you want to present it in a new way, go for it. The greatest thing about the Latin that it is put to song is that you sing the song twice and you got 6 times. So introduce it once, and then if you like singing the song, sing the song. OST, mustus ent, OST, mustus ent, OST, mustus ent. First conjugation, present tense. Maybe you do it slow. Maybe you do it as fast as you can the second time. And you're done. What are some land biomes? There is a song in our band tutor folder that you can use for that. A lot of these early science facts, when we did this cycle, we didn't do a lot of song. We had the day one, we kind of did, it had a rhythm to it, but it wasn't like a song. This one, what are some land biomes? Some land biomes are grasslands, desert, hot, scrubland. It is not that you scrub your body, but it's a great way to remember what it is. Scrubland, tundra, shatter your lips, tundra, it's cold. Deciduous forest has branches and the leaves fall. Coniferous forests look like Christmas trees. And tropical rainforest, because it rains a lot. Okay, grassland, desert, scrubland, tundra, deciduous forest, coniferous forest, tropical rainforest. There you go. A pronoun. This one's fun. If you have repeaters in your class, they'll probably start singing it as soon as you say, what is a pronoun? A pronoun replaces a noun in order to avoid repetition, and then you can repeat that forever. A pronoun replaces a noun in order to avoid repetition, except you're repeating it. Tell me about William the Conqueror. This is a fun one. Please don't use the drawing paper that I put in your bins, but I have some extra paper that will be used for kindling in our bonfires if we don't use it in class. So I was practicing over here. In 1054, the church split into Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox. William the Conqueror defeated King Harold of England in 1066 and started feudalism. Oh, in 1054, the church split, and it just goes over and over and over again. There is lore and legend that William the Conqueror defeated King Harold by shooting an arrow in his eye. So my son just enlightened me with this fact 2 weeks ago. So his idea was in 1054, the church split into Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox. William the Conqueror defeated King Harold, an arrow into the eye, of England in 1066 and started feudalism. So, little fun fact, some historians say it happened, some say, that's just lore. But supposedly, William the Conqueror possibly could have defeated King Harold by shooting an arrow in his right eye. The verdict's out. Okay, so timeline history. I'm just going to glance on here and see what they suggest. When I taught it, the biggest thing is mixing up the cards and letting them figure it out. So, whatever you find. Another time you can put the cards on their forehead if you use the cards, and they can, while you're singing the song, figure out where they're supposed to go in an order, kind of like a headbands game. So with that, some people love hand motions. If you love hand motions, practice them so that you can do them quickly. I highly encourage, if you are going to do hand motions, it's one of those things where you read it and then maybe you say it 2 or 3 times while you're doing the hand motion. I don't know the hand motion for 7 Wonders of the Ancient World, but maybe you're like, okay, 7 Wonders of the Ancient World. This is how it goes. 7 Wonders of the Ancient World, and you do the hand motion. Okay, 7 Wonders of the Ancient World. And then you move on to the next one. Patriarchs of Israel. I think it's this. Patriarchs of Israel. Patriarchs of Israel. Patriarchs of Israel. Hittites and Canaanites. I can't remember, it's something with this. Hittites and Canaanites, Cush. Hittites and Canaanites, Cush. Assyrians, Assyrians, Assyrians. And then Babylonians, I think, is the law one. I am not a hand motion person. I cannot sing and do hand motions. I did not make cheerleading. Babylonians, China Shang Dynasty, China Shang Dynasty, China Shang Dynasty. Okay, so you've said it at least 4 times because you read it. Maybe you read it through 2 times. You do the hand motion, and while you're doing the hand motion, you're saying it a couple times, and then you sing it one last time. And that way, even with the hand motions, you get through those 7 times. Biggest thing with hand motions, make sure you know them. If you're going to teach them, know them. Don't take time trying to remember what they are. Which is why I quit doing them in class, because I could not remember them. So if it's really important to you to know the hand motions and you think that's a really fun way to do it and your class is in on it, make sure you do it. You're doing it a couple times and saying the word. That way you get it in and you get that hand motion down, and then you move to the next one. Because you got to keep moving. Okay. So I'm showing you geography last. When I was a tutor, I preferred to do geography first. With my class last year, and it really depends on the age group, I did my review and my geography new grammar at the same time. Some people think that is absolutely horrible and you should never do it that way. And that's fine. For my class, it did great. They got in the mode of review early, and it really just set them up for the rest of the day. Some kids, especially your younger ones, may not be the right thing to do, but it really engaged the class that I taught, the Journeymen and Ladies last year. I tried it out with them, and it set the tone. We are knowing our stuff. We are doing this. So if you do that, you're gonna have your map out first. At the beginning of class, again, I'm out of practice. But if I was setting up the room, I would set the maps out first and we would do geography first. And we would say North America, South America, Europe, Asia, and Australia, Africa, Antarctica, these are the continents. Indian, Arctic, and the Atlantic, and the Pacific, and the Southern. These are the oceans around the world. Okay, I might say, show me where North Africa is. Or North Africa? Wow. North America. Show me South America. Show me Asia. Show me Europe. Show me Antarctica. Show me Australia. Show me Africa. All right. Show me the Arctic Ocean. Show me the Southern Ocean. Show me the Pacific Ocean. Show me the Indian Ocean. Show me the Atlantic Ocean. And we'd move super quick like that. Just one time. That's all review is. Just one time. Okay? Now we're going to do our European waters 7 times. Okay? North Sea, Baltic Sea, English Channel, Adriatic Sea, Mediterranean Sea. The song that I remember and the song that my kids remember, and they can learn a new one, it's perfectly fine in class, that I learned is different than the one that is on our tutor music, I think. So I'm just going to share it with you. It is from CC Happy Mom, and it's North Sea, Baltic Sea, English Channel, Adriatic Sea, Mediterranean Sea, European waters, sea. Okay. She does hand motions for it because the whole point is learning I love her hand motions and her ideas as long as they're not too descriptive. When they get really super descriptive, it's great for at home, but it's too much, in my opinion, for the CC classroom. So here she has, and I should have done like some, so she's got North Sea, and then she has her hands like this. Let's see. I don't know if this is backwards or not, but North Sea, Baltic Sea, because here's your Scandinavian countries. So North Sea, Baltic Sea, English Channel, because it's right here, Adriatic Sea, Adriatic Sea, Mediterranean Sea, European waters, sea. North Sea, Baltic Sea, English Channel, Adriatic Sea, Mediterranean Sea, European waters, sea. Okay. So whatever works for you. That is one that has stuck with me for going into 4 years now. But again, it is the class and the personality and whatever you pick as tutor to model, that is what is important. It is not that we all sing the same song, is what you model for your families. And if it works for your families, they'll use it. If they find something else that they like, they're going to use something else, and that's okay. I think that's everything for new grammar. Presentations are going great. I'm excited to see what this week brings. We're doing really well. No animals, no live animals. Lots and lots. Pictures are great, but no live animals. When you go into science, I will be supplying water for you. Everything else should be in your science kit. We're doing number 24 Mirage and number 26 Distortion. The other thing is make sure that you have the circle printouts. If you don't, worst case, grab some paper, draw a circle on them. I know that I don't believe that there's a magnifier for every kid in that kit. So take a look at it and see what you're going to be doing there. So it should have one of these in each of your science kits as well for my community. When it comes to science, use those name handouts that I gave you at the beginning of the year to model the 5 core habits, the 5 core habits of the tools of learning. In the Tutor Weekly Helps from CC Connected, they do a fantastic job of kind of walking through what to do here. really focusing on, this is not your typical science experiment in an institutional classroom. CC's science experiments and projects are designed to create wonder. We're not just sitting there doing the experiment. We're sitting there and we're taking the time to model the 5 core habits. Naming, what are we using? What do you see? What are you attending to? Take that time. If there's memorization pegs from the past or the future that are appropriate to kind of bring up as memorizing, expressing, what is it that they can express if it's appropriate, with their senses. And with storytelling, there's going to be some really great prompts on those handouts that I gave you, and take the time to use them. Take the time to come up with your own. Again, we are creating wonder experiences, not just science experiences. Okay. Fine art is image. There is information on page 82 in your guide to walk you through that. And it has your naming and your expressing. And yes, I did use that one a lot. Also, in your tutor binders, there are, half drawn things. Great thing about that is if you have a lefty like me, encourage them to turn their paper upside down. They'll get a little bit of upside down drawing experience on top of it. But that way, if it's a right-handed mirror image, where the picture is on the left side, if they flip it over, their picture's on the right side and they can actually draw a mirror image with their left hand. So if we have any lefties in the audience, it's a great way to make it work for them, because there is nothing worse than being left-handed and trying to draw an image of something that you're doing this with. Okay, so just something to think about. So that is fine arts. There are reference pages on drawing with children, page 67 and 69. And again, I highly encourage it. If you want to have a very relaxed drawing experience, I highly encourage the conducive relaxation, mind and body and eye relaxation. It starts on page 55 of this book. Some people say that that's worthless, that they never used it as a tutor. I'm telling you, this, even just this lesson 1 section, is so worth it as a tutor and even a parent just working with your own kids. But page 55 through, it actually is a very useful book if you use it. So there are also, what does it say? It says 67. Yeah, so it has some mirror image practice in here as well to guide you through that if you just want to use that book. So that is hands-on science, hands-on art, grammar review. Okay, because we are still early in our weeks of review, take this time to have fun. Review the work, more than once. If you want to do it 7 times again, great. But you have 2 weeks to review, week 1 and week 2. But you also have time. You have time to enjoy getting to know the kids in the class, the parents in the class. Maybe you play freeze, where they get to play. If you take them out on the playground, if they get to play, as long as they know the rules, you get to play, and then maybe you blow a whistle and they have to freeze and they answer a couple review questions. Then they get to play some more, and then you freeze them again and they answer some review questions. If you take them outside, make sure to clean up your room at the end of hands-on science or fine arts, whichever one you're doing, before review. Take the trash out, dump it in the big trash can down at the end of the hallway. Clean up the room, have everybody gather their stuff, and go outside. If you're gonna do that, text me, let me know ahead of time, and I will let the parents know that their kids are already outside ready for lunch. Okay? So have a great week, and well, have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Let me get this in here. May all your thoughts be replaced with timeline lyrics. Have a great day.